Get ready with me while I talk about Katee Robert's newest book, Sweet Obsession. I was so excited that I was selected to listen to this audiobook on NetGalley. It was the first NetGalley I've ever gotten. I got it the first week. I know I'm really lucky to have gotten one of the first books that I submitted for. I think I was selected for it because I have not only the TikTok channel, but I have a Facebook page, an Instagram, and a YouTube channel all under the same name, and I also have a podcast. I was able to put all of that in my NetGalley profile. I think it helped me get approved for this arc a little bit faster than some people who have been submitting for arcs for a long time. Katee Robert is one of my absolute favorite authors. Any trope or kink that I've really not been into in the past, I trust her to introduce me to it. Her characters are always likable and deep, despite the fact that a lot of her books have like a really high spicy content. You always end up liking and caring about the characters, which is sometimes hard to do with books that are like really high in spicy content. This was my first romance. I've never been into those before, but I had wanted to try. There's a couple that I wanted to try, and the plots didn't really speak to me, and I didn't think it would be a good introduction to spicy romance. I'm glad that I trusted her because she did such a great job. This is book 8 of the Dark Olympus series that she has. Of all of her series, this one, even though it is very, very spicy, is not her actual, like, her spiciest series. There's a lot of really good plot that goes along with all of the romance and spice. She's very good ratios. There's 2 main characters, Poseidon and Icarus. In the world of Dark Olympus, like the names of the Greek gods, Poseidon, Zeus, etc., they're all titles that people hold and then like pass down to a different person. So although Poseidon is like holds the title of Poseidon, he's not in essence the Greek god Poseidon. So I will say, if you have not read the previous 7 books to this one, there's some plot points that are gonna kind of go over your head and are a little bit hard to keep up with. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting with this book if you haven't read any of the other books in the Dark Olympus series. That being said, I was able to gather what was going on even though I haven't read the previous 2 to this one. I have read the first 3. So after a like really tense political conflict in the previous book, Icarus has been taken as a political hostage by Poseidon. Now, even though he's a hostage, Poseidon treats him very well. What I love about the way that Katee Robert writes is that she's very clear about her trigger warnings. And even though she uses dark themes, she does an excellent job making sure that her main characters do not violate the rights of the other main characters. Which, if you know me at all, that is like top tier, most important. Icarus is just like a seductive sad boy. His father passed away in the conflict in the previous book that led to the plot of this book. So he's not in the greatest place mentally, but his dad wasn't a great person, so it's kind of fine. And Poseidon and he are like attracted to each other at first, but it's not like in the insta love way that can be kind of sickening, but there's like definitely attraction there at first. And so Icarus decides that he's going to seduce Poseidon in order to try to ingratiate himself to him, to increase his chances of being protected by Poseidon in the upcoming continued conflict. And there's a little bit of back and forth and some resistance to the attraction at first. That's just like chef's kiss. Like, it's not a slow burn, it's like a medium burn. Obviously in the end they give into their attraction and they start doing the damn thing. Their personalities are really different because Poseidon is like this like very masculine, military kind of stiff personality, and Icarus is like this kind of seductive type. He has been navigating most of his life using his sexuality to like manipulate people and kind of like get ahead and get information that he would need to survive and like further his own personal agenda. So of course Poseidon is a little bit hesitant in his personal feelings towards Icarus because he doesn't know if Icarus just actually has feelings for him or if he's just using him for his own personal gain, even though he's like a political prisoner. But in the end, they just develop this very sweet relationship and friendship. There's some things that go on to further the plot of the entire series that are extremely interesting. Every character in the cast has been developed so well throughout the series that you just like know their personalities. Even if it's just a side character in the specific book, you're aware of who they are, and it just adds more and more to the depth of the plot. I have so many good things to say, especially because this wasn't like necessarily a trope or plot that I would have reached for if not for knowing that Katee Robert wrote it, and I just love her. that was going on. I just could not wait for them to get together because of the sweetness of their relationship and the way that they started to care for each other. Again, it wasn't like insta love. They actually just started to love each other and feel very protective over each other. I gave it 4 stars, not because there was anything wrong with it, but because overall it was a great read, but it wasn't a 5-star in terms of overall messaging or like an epic plot or theme, but it was definitely a solid read. Cannot wait for the final book in this series. Sweet Obsession was the perfect title in my opinion. Happy release day to Katee Robert. If you're looking for, like me, like a first book to kind of dip your toe into the romance, this one was absolutely perfect. Go grab a copy. It's already available on Hoopla through my library, so you can listen to the audiobook for free on that format if you want to. If not, grab it on Kindle, grab it on Audible. You will not regret it.